one of the topics that we wanted to explore a bit on this would be to talk about how to comp for yourself and others while you're either playing a solo guitar version, or maybe you're comping in a duo context, or even with a bass player.
So we had talked about a few different approaches to solo guitar, and then also allowing the folks watching to have the ability to play with us virtually. So you were kind enough to dial in a metronome app. So we might also, a little later in the class, comp and allow people to solo. We're going to have to imagine that someone's soloing, but we will comp for them. And then we could solo and have them comp for us. So comping obviously is a big part of solo guitar playing, as you know. I would suggest, and I think this is true when I listen to you play, that folks listen to piano players for some notions of how to comp, specifically rhythmic vocabulary. I think guitar players sometimes tend to be a little bit lazy in terms of the rhythmic vocabulary that they're using when they accompany. They'll just play chords when they feel like playing a chord, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. And of course, we're focusing on learning good voicings, voice leading, and so forth. But I think the rhythmic component of how we accompany works well, obviously, if you're playing alone, but also has the potential to set up a more interesting dialogue within the rhythm section and between the rhythm section and the soloist if we're playing well-defined rhythmic figures. And I know you do this very well in your own solo playing.
It doesn't have to be like a Lenny Bro style where the comping is overlapping the melody so much, which is great. I mean, that's another style that we could get into today that I love, and I know you do as well.
Me too.
But, I remember the first time I saw Barney Kessel when I was in high school. I heard him do this with a trio, and you didn't really miss the piano player or the second guitar player, because he was filling in all the spaces with comping.
I also like your idea, by the way, of using sort of a more blues-based sound by taking that first section of the tune and playing them both as dominant chords. I've also seen one written as major on this tune sometimes. I've seen... But dominant does make it, of course, sound bluesier if we have the flat 7 on the 1 chord. But there are different versions of tunes, and there's really sometimes it's useful depending on the tune. Some standards, there's one set of changes. If we're playing Stella by Starlight, it's one set of changes, as you know, probably. This one, not so much. How Deep is the Ocean? Bill Evans versus Irving Berlin, pretty different, as you know. So is it okay to check with your bandmates if you're not all looking at a shared chart as far as the changes? Absolutely.
These little walkdowns and walkups that everybody sort of needs to know, kind of the bread and butter maneuvers, So if you're going to a B flat 7, you would want to probably play like these type of things, or the other way coming down, maybe.
Sure.
It could be different things. You could start on the B flat 7 and go B flat 7, A flat 6, G minor. I think I went into the bridge this way, actually. Come to think of it, I did this B flat 6, A flat 6, G minor 7, maybe G flat minor 7, F minor 7, to get to the E flat minor 7. Maybe even an E minor going to E flat.
I think also the beauty of our instrument is chromatic movement is so easy with a shape that even though it feels obvious to just move a chord up or down a half step, it does create some interesting movement that's much more difficult to execute on a piano. So, folks who are listening, please play along. We're imagining you're soloing. Okay. So play along with us, please.
1, 2, 3, 4.
you.